Let me tell you from experience that the deep web is a disgusting human cesspit. You don't know what lies in the dark recesses of the human psyche until you go in there. I learned that the hard way. I got suckered in by the crazy stories and hype my friends gave it. I wanted to see it for myself. So last week I downloaded Tor and started browsing. I didn't feel the need for any extra protection, being completely new to the entire concept. In retrospect, I wish I had. I spent hours clicking link after link after link, and I was starting to get bored and a little freaked out. I had found a whole host of your typical crackheads searching for drugs, sites with hitmen for hire, and a shit ton of other military-grade weaponry. At one point, I found myself scrolling through post after post of vivid descriptions of animal abuse and how the sick fuckers who committed those atrocities get off to them every night. I wish I had closed my computer right then and there, but something kept my curiosity alight. Honestly, I think some part of me just wanted to see how fucked up the human mind truly could be. After a few more links to child porn and a couple drug markets, I had enough. This is it. I sighed to myself. One more link and I swear I'm getting off this whole hellhole. I clicked the link, going blindly into what, unbeknownst to me, would alter my already cynical views on humanity. The first thing that caught my eye was the curly pink font that served as the title of the opening page. It read, "Peace and Love." I remember it all too clearly, as it seemed so out of place in that slum of human refuse, formerly known as the deep web. I scrolled down to find an image album and a simple chat box. No one was online at the moment, so I went ahead and clicked the first set of pictures. I was not ready for what I was about to see. The very first picture was that of a young pregnant woman, bawling her eyes out. She looked scrawny and thin, with cuts and bruises marring her pale skin. She looked scared and malnourished, like she was begging for her life. I clicked to the next photograph and nearly vomited. The young woman from before now sat in a chair, facing the camera, her dead, dull eyes boring into me. She was covered in blood and her abdomen had been torn open. In her cold, unfeeling arms, she held the child, still attached at the umbilical cord. Its half-formed, lifeless body was a deep crimson with blood, and one could tell it had been forcibly ripped from the womb. On the wall just behind them, written in their blood with the words, "I gave them peace," in harsh, hasty letters. I don't know what possessed me to keep scrolling through the photo. It was as if I couldn't control my own facilities. The image only got more and more grotesque as I looked further. The following images seemed to be a time-lapse of the decomposition of the body. I watched them rot, sitting there together. I watched the face of the mother, which could have once been considered beautiful, wither and collapse in on itself as a fetid mound of flesh. By the end of the series of images, they were nothing but desiccated skeletons. I would have noped it the fuck out of there had it not been for a message that popped up on my screen. It was from the website chat. It read exactly as follows. "Hello there. Do you like what you see? Do you want more? Do you want to attain true peace?" I didn't know how to respond. I was rooted to my chair with fear. Then the sicko spoke again. "You don't have to be scared, Zachary. I love you. I want to help you. Let me help you." I managed to type a simple question. "How in the name of hell do you know my name?" Almost immediately, I got a response. "I know everything about you. You know, you really shouldn't leave your curtains open like that. You get a draft. You see, I just want to help you. Please, just let me save you." My eyes flashed to the uncovered window behind me to the light of the webcam. My heart skipped a beat when I realized it was on. That sick fucker was watching me. I made a move to pull the plug on this sick son of a bitch when another message popped up. Don't try to shut me out. I'll bring you peace. I swear, Zachary Tanner, it's the only real bliss in the world. That was the last message I got before I finally shut it off. Needless to say, I stayed off the internet for a long while after that. Just today I got back on, praying to God that it would have all blown over. Oh, how wrong I was. I logged into my email only to find it was spammed with emails from an account named I'll Show You Peace. Each one had the same message. I want to save you. I want to love you. I want to bring you peace. In all caps. But that wasn't even the worst of it. Each and every message had a candid photo of me taken within the last week. I've tried to involve the police, but they haven't been much help. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do.
Number 2.
I hired a guy to hack into my ex-girlfriend's Gmail account. Feel free to judge me all you want. Of course it's against the law. Of course it's a violation of her privacy. Why else would I be using a throwaway? But there were some emails I sent her when we were still together, things we promised to keep between the two of us. They didn't involve any illegal activity. Having said that, the subject matter was very personal, and given how ugly and nasty the divorce has been going, I have no idea what she might do with the messages. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. I was determined to find a way into her account and get rid of every message she could use to publicly shame me. I didn't know the first thing about hacking, but I knew you could hire people to do it for you. Obviously, these guys don't advertise in the yellow pages, but as soon as I found out, they're easy to find as long as you're willing to venture into the deep web. I had downloaded a Tor browser a few months prior, but every time I thought about using it, I chickened out. But that was for good reasons. I'd heard that in the deep web you might have child pornography pop up on your browser, even if you weren't looking for it. Well, last night, I got pretty drunk and said fuck it. I plunged into the waters of the deep web, hoping to find someone who could assist me, rather than a deluge of child porn. Turns out, it's organized pretty well for what is basically an underground internet crime syndicate. I saw links to sites where you could buy drugs, download snuff films, and even hire assassins. Eventually, I found what I was looking for. A message board called Hackers for Hire. I made a post outlining the details of what I wanted done. I got a surprisingly quick reply from a guy named X. Yup, that's his whole username, just X. All he said was that he'd get in touch with me tomorrow. This morning, I woke up with a brutal hangover, an immediate sense of regret for what I'd done last night, and a new message in my Reddit inbox. It was a message from X himself. I have no idea why a hacker would private message someone on Reddit unless he was hiding behind like 7 proxies, but I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. For all I know, that isn't even possible. Right away, I knew something was up because his username was, well, just check the screenshot. It's one fucking letter. Reddit has never allowed one-letter usernames. Believe it or not, the link in his private message is a link to this sub. Specifically, the thread for the week's top-rated post. I'm guessing many of you have read it. It's called, Loved Seeing You Last Week. Thank you for fixing my computer. Every other post here looks normal, but the one he linked me to is glitchy. The text keeps changing, but it all happens so fast that I can't figure out what he's trying to say. Maybe it's the address for a meetup? Well, that was the first thought that came to my mind, but It only took a moment's thought to realize how dumb it was. Most likely the guy's in China or Romania or who the fuck knows where. I noticed the screen changes weren't random. It was like the same pattern on loop. So I took a screen recording. I would greatly appreciate it if one of you guys could tell me if it means anything. I understand if you're repulsed I'm even asking, given what I did yesterday. He tried to run.